Okay. Okay. We're going to officially start. Pushed record. Okay. I am so excited to hear from one of my coaches tonight. Tonight's going to be all about recruiting, you guys, and recruiting coaches. Darci, who has, gosh, what, you started with me in December? Is that correct? She hasn't been coaching very long. So,
like the end of November. Yep.
okay, end of November, beginning of December. Um, Not only has she been successful in her own business, but she has been doing a killer job of recruiting coaches, which she currently has three. Am I correct? Three working coaches who two of them, you guys, hit Success Club last month. So I am excited to hear from her and a little bit. I would love to, or she will be sharing a little bit about what she's doing. And you guys, if you guys have questions, now is the time to ask. Because I'm sure you hear from Ashley and I all the time, and we can always give you our biggest tips, but it's always fun to kind of hear from someone who's new in the business or is newer, so that you guys can get her perspective of like what she's doing and what's working for her. And she's also going to talk a little bit about what is working well for helping her coaches see success in the first few months of their business as well. So with one of them, like very close to diamond. So Darci, I will hand it over. And you guys, she's going to share, and then at the end we can kind of do a Q&A. So if you guys want to start dropping questions in the chats, Darci, at the end I'll go back and read some of the questions if you want to answer them, and we'll kind of do a little Q&A if that works.
Sure. So I can I'll start by just giving you a little bit of background. It's funny that I'm so honored that Jenna asked me to speak tonight, because it's funny how people find each other on social media. Like, I still say to Jenna, I don't know how I found her. I've been following Jenna and Ashley. Like, it's so weird. You feel like you're stalking these people, but then it's so weird. But I don't know. And now I'm being asked to speak. Meanwhile, I was watching them for ideas for myself. So it's funny. I was in another MLM, another health and fitness MLM, but it just didn't feel right, because I was doing Beachbody and I was trying to sell this other stuff, but I myself was doing Beachbody workouts, and I'm my heart's just not in this, because my results are really through Beachbody. But so here I am following all these Beachbody coaches. So now I just feel so honored that you guys asked me to call on this, because I actually want to pick everyone else's brain, but I'm so happy to share what's worked for me in the past couple months. And I will say that, the background of my other MLM did help, because I was able to, I feel that I sort of have this fast start way of coming into this business with already doing all the invites, and really it's just a lot of practice, truly. I have no secret formula. I just am doing the ask, and even in my old health and fitness, they would say, just, you have to do the asking. So truly, if you're not asking, you're not, I don't know the word, but yeah, if you're not asking to the business, if you're not asking to your whatever you're inviting to, if it's a group or whatever, then you're not going to be doing anything that month or that week or whatever. So that if you're sitting there thinking I'm not where I want to be, well, and Jenna will say to me, how many people have you invited even today, this week? And a lot of times my numbers aren't where they want to be. So when I started at the end of November, Jenna asked me, or I think maybe in one of the new coaching emails, it said, how fast do you want to grow in this business? And I was fast. I was ready to hit the ground running. I'm you just show me what to do and I want to do it. So she just, I have to, credit her, because she coached me truly and was okay, every day in my inbox, what are you doing? Who are you inviting? How many, how is it going? And really that helped me and moved me along. And while she was trying to reach a goal, that helped me to reach mine. And what I did was I reached out to all of my old customers, but I have to stop and think like, how do I tell you how I got those customers in the first place? Because that doesn't help you. If you're newer, you're like, okay, she reached out to her old customers. I don't have that. My old customers came from coworkers. They came from, friends. Of course, friends and family are sometimes the last to join us. However, a lot of times I did have coworkers. I would give them samples. That was another way I would invite through. But that was a different type of product. But a lot of times, yes, it was a warm market. It still is a warm market. I might have had like 2 contacts so far that were not warm. So I am still in my warm market contact pool, if you will. But yeah, I guess she gave me that diamond map, and I sort of just was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep asking people, and that's the biggest part is like, how are you asking, without sounding so salesy type thing, and that's something I'm still perfecting. Like I have to try to make it like you would want to be invited to. Oh, I was listening to I think it was a podcast, and it's like, if you're going to invite someone to a birthday, like if you are going to invite someone to your kid's birthday and they say no, you just say, all right, cool. Like, are you ever that depressed or bummed that your friend isn't going to make your kid's birthday party? No, but you asked and you invited, and you're going to invite to this opportunity you have. And then if they say no, then okay, maybe later. Like they always told us it's a not right now. It's not a no. It's just a not right now. And I do find, when I started at first, like even before like this, I would always be like, what is that? And truly, people do come around eventually. You just have to give them time. But so that's just a little bit of background. I'm a teacher full time, so I do this super on the side and during pockets of my day, and I wake up early and I try to do that stuff then. And so the next thing I'll talk about is how I know, Ashley, I think you and I need a private call like together to see like how you retired yourself from teaching. Cause like every day I go in there and I'm like, how am I going to do this till I'm 60? That's what I want to know. How am I going to be teaching till I'm 60? I don't know. I'm going to retire myself. So yeah, teaching during COVID times is not fun, but
a busy mom with special needs daughter too.
Yes. So I have a daughter with complicated medical stuff, and we're traveling to Florida for surgery a lot and therapy every week and just a ton of stuff going on. But yeah, I just make it work, and I'm trying to like slowly share that in my social media because I know that I eventually know that can help somebody, and like use my story to do that. But that's like another thing in itself. So I got sidetracked, but I was going to share about my coaches. So I'll start with my first coach to sign up with me happened to be a referral. She's a hockey, she's not on this call right now, but she is a fellow hockey mom friend of mine who we just met just with our kids at hockey, and she had been, on social media. She was in another MLM, so I'm not sure if that's helpful, but she does have some background there. But she never was interested in like switching. Just one day randomly was like, I think I want to join this boot camp you're talking about. And somebody had told her that I was doing Beachbody. And when she and I were on the phone, she was like, I know how this works. I'm going to sign up as a coach. But because she was like in the business-ish somewhere else, she was like, I'm going to sign up as a coach, but I'm just going to do that. And so, yeah, and never said anything else about it. And then one day, like days later, was like, I think I'm going to do this, like out of nowhere. So sometimes I think, maybe that can happen and you get lucky while you sign someone up to do a boot camp, and then they're like really excited to work the business. And that happened with me, where she just sort of was like, I think I'm going to do both. Like, I'm going to totally pivot my business and not do this side business. I'm going to do this. And yeah, she's very, very, very close to hitting diamond right now. And again, she's using her past customers. So that's easy for her too. But again, it comes with time. Like, she and I were talking to another coach of mine and on a chat, and we were like just telling her that this stuff comes with, like, you know, experience of just continuing to ask and whatever they say, failing forward, right? You learn what works, and if it's, I think we all have failed at one point, or we kind of just feel like not confident, and then that's what the personal development's for, is to remind us that we can do this and continue to stay confident to keep on going. But so that's one of my coaches that I'm very, very lucky to have on our team. Another coach friend of mine is on this call somewhere, and so she was also working. I think it's funny, she and I were what you would call a sideline. Do we call that here? Do we say that here? We don't really refer to that here as that. We just say sister friends. But sideline, someone that's not your, your coach, and someone that's not under you. But she and I were working this other MLM together, and I was helping her a lot. And she'd be like, I just wish you were my coach, because I was helping her so much, because her coach was so busy, couldn't even answer her questions. So she and I sort of like got close in that way. And then I guess when she saw that I was doing this, she was like, I should really join you. I'm like, you should just join the boot camp. And it took her a little while, and then eventually she did. And then she was like, worried, a little bit worried to join as a coach, just thinking like, is it overwhelming? Like, am I going to get any customers? Like, what is this going to be like? And then she did. So she like, I don't know. Maybe she could speak about that experience. But I do think that was, it's hard, because I have a very unique situation where I had this experience, and then she had a little bit of experience and joined me in that way. And then, everybody loved the groups.
I think that's what I'll add is, like, you guys, I know Darci talks a lot about, she had come from a previous MLM, and Darci, you can kind of share this. But a little backstory of all of it is that, it's so cool that Beachbody, we are so fortunate and lucky to offer the true total solution of workouts, supplements, group support, and, all of them will say that they were loving Beachbody more than their current products or their current company that they were working for.
I was going to touch on the fact that mine was just supplements. So I was running these challenge groups similar to these, but not, obviously. And it was so hard for them to retain them, because they were like, how much can you, there was no meal plan. There was no, obviously, movement. And people would say outright to me, I need to move my body. And here's me doing these Beachbody workouts every morning, and in my head going, oh my God, I feel like I'm like cheating or something. Like, how do I tell this client who I'm selling products to, you need to move your body, and like, what am I going to do? Go get the BOD app. Like, I had no coach at the time. I just was using BOD and doing my own thing and doing this other like product thing. So I will tell you that asking people now versus asking people then is so much easier for me. And I'll tell you why. A few things. One, in order to sign people up before, they had to purchase 150 points of a product. That was just, I'm telling you, powder. Okay. Now I feel so confident in the reason I'm sharing that, not because I'm saying one's like, I'm not trashing one versus the other. I'm sharing because it's so easy for me to invite to this, because it works. It works for the whole, it's a total solution, truly. So I guess coming from that, I feel that I can help people. Like, I truly feel like, I'm confident in what we have. Like, we have the workouts, we have the products, and we have the meal plan. And people were like not sure what to do before. So for me, I'm able to direct them and invite in that way. And so when I invite, I of course say that how it's changed my, total morning routine, and it's and what it's done for me. And the meal plans are just so easy to follow. I mean, we're not just typing in calories in a calculator and trying to like tally up stuff all day. It's totally manageable. So when I invite, I just share what I love about it. And so the other thing is, I just love that we don't have it's not like this product minimum to join our group. Yes, you do the package, but it is a total solution. So if someone's looking for that, it's super easy to invite to that, in my opinion, in that way. Because I think that if I were to rewind, like before I sold a thing, I might think this was overwhelming that someone would buy a package. Like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to? And then when you turn the thought of what they get, and I know we've had different calls and chats about, what they actually get for that price. It's just so much that you get for that price. And even my one coach who came from her other MLM, even my old one, she says, I cannot believe everything that's in Shakeology and everything I used to sell separate. She's like, I used to sell this, and that. Like she actually, I would love to have her speak sometime, because she's able to, and I don't have this experience, but she's able to share why Shakeology is so amazing for the price point, because of all the however many she thinks she was selling for the ingredients in Shakeology. So that's kind of cool to hear on her end and in her perspective. So it is really cool to, I guess you might be thinking, wow, I don't have that background. So how would I ever have that type of invite that she has, or how would I ever, feel as she has this experience? And I think that what you could take from this is there is so much value in Beachbody, and so much value versus other different health and fitness. I truly believe, like I have a coach from another health and fitness thing. I'm from another health and fitness thing. And I truly believe this is the total solution that I don't need to sell you on, but maybe that you could take comfort in, like it's a true value that when we invite, it's not, it's definitely valuable. So I do believe that. And then thirdly, well, my husband's one of my coaches who I signed him into Emerald. And lastly, the newest coach that signed up loved the challenge group so much that I never expected in my whole life. She's been a close friend of mine for 10 years. And I was like, she would never. In my head, this is what we prejudge. We're like, they would never. Do you ever know unless you ask? I literally said to her, we're hosting a coach sneak peek. Why don't you come take a listen? And she said, it's funny you say that. I love this so much. I feel like this might be something fun. And took a listen and loved our stories and ended up signing up. So you really don't prejudge anybody. Think about who is in your challenge groups that you, even a friend of yours that you're like, they would never do what I'm doing. Do you really know that? Because they might be inspired by you. And that's what my friend said. She's like, you inspired me to do this. And I was gonna go ahead and just say nah and write her off in my head, not even invite her. So that's sort of, I guess, what you could take from that is just don't be afraid to ask. What are they going to do? Just say no. So that I'm going to go through here. I saw that how many invites do you send per day on average? Well, it's funny you say that. I feel that I was on this fast track to diamond at the time. I was probably inviting 25 people, like at a time. Like there would be days where Jenna and I hopped on a power hour, together. And we did do a timed, I don't know how long, maybe it wasn't an hour, whatever we timed. In that time, I combed through my Facebook list and I truly invited probably 25 to 30 people. Now I definitely am not. And I feel like that's something I need to work on myself. I'm not doing 25 to 30 and I should be doing more. Probably doing I mean, if I'm doing 10, I'm happy, but like, that's even not, I would love to do more. I do feel like I have so much of a warm market, and that's what I'm trying to help my other coaches with, is that and I think that this is something, just an overarching, for a lot of people starting out, it's like how, when you feel that you've run out of your warm market, I will never use the words, I will run out of people, because that is true. We can't run out of people. We have the social media for that. But that's another thing, is to work on building that. And Ashley, I think that I started following you when you had like, and this is going to sound this is going to sound weird, but I want to say it was like 4 to 5,000 followers. So that is amazing. I love watching people's pages grow, and I love, like, I just want to say that I think that's just like something super cool that we can all learn from each other. I love that everybody has something to bring. But yeah, I guess that's, I'm looking at more of the questions. I don't think there are any more. Does anybody else have any questions that I can answer?
You want to touch on maybe what you did to help your Coaches at Success Club?
Yes. Let me think of what I did. Well, I mean, so we went to I just feel like I signed up at the end of November. Christmas happened. I think my first coach signed up. Oh, no. 2 of them signed up. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the timeline, because then we went to the event. The event was fun and hyped everybody up. The super weekend event, and that definitely hyped everybody up. That was, oh, I know you were December 1st, girl. I have that date. That's why I was like, no, Christmas didn't happen. So I'm just trying to think of what I did. I don't know that I know what I did to help them hit Success Club, other than putting speaking belief into them, like Jenna did to me. Jenna modeled that for me, and I guess that I myself modeled that. So by showing them that how to, and we would go through how to invite, who you can invite, I would help them and show them different strategies. I would share my invites. So I would share my, post your first picture, right? Like, go back to when you first started coaching, and who liked and loved on your post, who is liking and loving on your posts. I am still working on that, because I can't say that I'm doing that every single time I post, because every single time I post the same people, I'm still in that like weird, I don't have a ton of a following right now. And I also don't have a ton of new people that like and comment on my stuff. It's usually the same people, or people that I already know are either doing it, or
I want to touch on that. I'm going to touch on that, because that's something that I hear too a lot, is that, well, I don't have anybody new watching my stuff. It's not like Jenna and I wake up one day, and not that anybody's saying this, but it's not like we wake up one day, or like every day it's like, oh, we have 20 new people who liked our picture. Oh, the next day, oh, 20 new people liked our content. Oh, 50 new people liked our content the next day. So, sometimes we think like, oh, I have nobody new. It's like, well, we don't really either. It's not, there's nobody out there who has like hundreds or, tons of new people flooding to our pages. And so I just want everybody to remember that, like, it's normal that you don't have new people every single day coming to your page. It's typical. Now, we're always going to work to try to grow our page and do reels and things like that. But I don't want anybody to think that like Jenna gets 20 new likes every single day. So it's like she has 20 new people that she can invite. She's inviting the same people every single day. And she's seeking out new ways and problem solving new ways that we can, reach more people and, grow our following in an organic way to fill it with people who want to be there. So I just have heard that too. And I love that you said before that you're never going to let yourself say, I'm out of people, because even though you have 200 followers, 300 followers, 5,000 followers, over 10,000 followers, like Jenna, like there's always more people out there. So don't compare how many likes you have on your page to how many likes somebody else has on their page. And don't compare how many followers you have, because, you know, Just Dukes may have, I don't even know how many, I'm just going to say over 100,000 followers, maybe over 200,000, maybe over 300,000. I don't even know her number anymore, but, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers. She's not talking to hundreds of thousands of people. You know, so we just have to remember that and keep that in perspective, that you may have a lower follower count, and so therefore you have maybe a little bit lower of the number of people you're talking to. But just because somebody has more followers or more likes doesn't mean that they have more access to be more successful. So I just wanted everybody to hear that's a big limiting belief that we see a lot in this business, that you don't have enough followers, you don't have enough new people liking your content. People aren't just going to magically show up on your page. You have to invite them, like Darci said. They're not just going to like ring your doorbell for your kid's birthday party and be like, I'm here. They have no idea that you are having a birthday party for your kid. You have to ask them. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because I want to like tie all of that together, that these people don't just show up. You have to ask them. But also don't let that limiting belief of like, there's nobody new. Nobody's here. Nobody wants to hear my stuff. There are people out there. You just have to ask them, and you have to bring them to your page.
I love that. So I'm still working on that. Like, obviously I'm still, even though I was doing something else, they were not centered. I feel that Beachbody really is a lot of it. All of it is social selling. And the other that I was in was not, and the training was not there. So I will tell you that I had no training on social selling, really. Like, this team has brought the fire. We are so lucky. Ashley and Jenna, they are just so great. Like, I've learned years worth. I can't even tell you, I'm telling you the truth. And I know my other coach will probably agree. And we have just, learned so much, just because there's just so much to offer. So much social selling info. I will share one positive thing. I didn't get a sign up, but I will tell you this helped me. I've been doing every Sunday like a Q&A where I'm not just talking about like products or whatever. I'm trying to get to know my following. So I do Q&A, and it's like the poll. And I think 2 weeks ago I did, what do you struggle with more, fitness or nutrition? And the one of the people that has been following, it also said, how did you find me? It said, like, we have something in common. I think I listed a couple things. One said hashtags, and someone said hashtags, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So that apparently is not an old art, which I keep hearing conflicting things. Hashtags are not dead, but don't also rely on just hashtags. But I will tell you that the one girl that said fitness was something she struggled with, I followed up on that with her, and I just, casually said, oh, I noticed that you struggle a little bit with fitness, and then I just started chit-chatting back and forth with her. And then I just said in it was like a slight invite. I didn't want to be like, bam, like, you have to like ask in the right way without scaring them away, or I don't want them to unfollow me, right? But we don't want to be afraid to ask. So it's like that, trying to find that medium of asking in a nice way. So I just said, oh, if you're ever interested, I run these monthly groups, and I don't remember the blurb I said, but it was like in a nice invite. And she read it and ghosted me. And I messaged Jenna. I'm like, great. This girl has been interacting with all of my stories, like, for a while now, interacted with that. We were chit-chatting. I invited her, ghosted me. So I let it go. Didn't follow up with her. I was like, you know what? I just don't want to overthink this. Days go by. She says to me, out of nowhere, can you tell me about your groups? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for. This like cold, not a warm market lead. It was like a total, that was awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I told her a little bit about it, used voice memo. And she then, time goes by, hours, you know how that goes, where you're like, what are they doing? It's like this game you play in your head, right? And then you're like, what, you can't think about that. It's fine. They're at work. No. And then she just responded really nice. I think that's not something I want right now, but maybe in the future, but I still love following you and you're motivating or something. So then I just have to say, okay. So of course that happened. And I could I get discouraged? Sure. But when I hear like people like I forget what call we were on, but you girls with thousands of followers are getting those answers too. So like I can't sit here and boo-hoo about that, because I took that as a win, because I was like, wow, like she is, interested, but like not yet. And okay, I'm not gonna like just, you know, like I'm not gonna just throw her to the side and be like, well, that's done or whatever. Am I never gonna invite her again? No, I'll probably circle back, not in a week. I know she obviously told me not now, but I just took that as a win, because that's something that I was afraid to do and I did. And again, the overall theme is do the ask, because you really just never know. So that's a little bit about, I guess, how I've been having some. Oh, and in one last sign up, it was funny, Jenna. We were in the like last hours of hitting this goal. And I somehow, by the skin of my teeth, had a random person fill out my Google form so if you don't have in your bio a link to something, try to put that on your list. That's one piece of advice I will tell you, is make a Google form for them to fill out. This person, a man, filled out my form saying that he wanted like to lose weight. And I'm like, Jenna, do I put him in our group? Like, it's just a man like who wants to. Well, it turns out he really did want to do this and ended up making my husband Emerald, and somehow all the stars aligned and he signed up for a package. It was like a miracle. But put that link in your bio, because I asked him out of curiosity. I said, I'm just curious, like, how did you find my page? Like, he was not a contact I searched for, and I found myself. And he said, I think I found it on the hashtag fitness coach. And I was like, wow, I know I use those. I use those in my Transformation Tuesday posts. You never know. Throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Don't do that. Try to have some sort of a strategy. But that's what I do. I try to have like a posting plan for like in the Tuesdays where I have like fitness coach. I'm like, well, I guess that seems to work. But those are just some of my like successes in this short amount of time. And I hope some of it was, I was able to help a little bit. I know I have a unique story, but I also, I'm in the same boat as still a lot of you, where, I will say in the old selling, we relied on volume, not so much new signups. Of course, new would help your volume points, but this is new for me too. Signing 3 people up a month was intimidating to me at first. And I thought to myself, how would I ever sign 3 new people up a month? And then you just switch your mindset and you're like, help 3 people, I guess. Right. And so I'm trying to do that. And I'm not going to like give up. If, like Ashley said, I'm not going to just say I don't have enough people. I'm just going to continue to do and ask and inspire on my page, like so many people have said. And you never know who's watching. Look at your stories. I always try to, when I swipe up my stories, I do a lot of inviting there. And if they're watching, I have had someone say, sure, I'll take more info. And you're like, why didn't you click on my poll? Again, another call we had. One of you girls said they don't always click on your poll. It's like the birthday party invite. They're not going to say, can I come to the party? And yeah, I think it's like that mindset of it might have something to do with that. It's like they're not going to seek out help, but if you're going to take time out of your day to invite them, they're going to say, sure, I'll take some info. And so you never know who is going to take more info. So I am still working on that, but that is also something I wanted to share that has helped me with my inviting. Lastly, I know I keep saying lastly, but Jenna wanted me to share about the last thing about the coaching. I randomly just thought of someone that I really feel that would probably enjoy coaching. And I said, we're having a sneak peek. She's not in my challenge groups at all, but I know she does. bod. Her mom is in the challenge groups. I didn't tell you that though, Jenna. Her mom is a lifelong, she has just been such a supporter of me no matter what I've been doing. So she's been a preferred customer wherever I go. So I love her for that. And her daughter does the workout. So I was like, do you want to come check out the sneak peek? She said, sure. Again, who would have thought? She's not in my challenge groups. Her mom is. I thought she does the workouts. She'd probably be really good at this. She's a teacher like me, and why not listen?
I think that's something that Darci, she's very brave when it comes to invites. I think every single coach, or, Darci likes to screenshot coach invites that she does. And out of nowhere, someone will have an objection to cost. Darci will literally quick to think, she could be coaching, she could be making money too. So, it's that, I think sometimes we're so quick to just think boot camp, and it's getting out of that mindset of, how could this benefit, how could coaching even benefit someone's life? And, getting brave with inviting to coaching and offering the opportunity out, at any moment when we think someone would be good at this. So I think Darci has done a great job of that. And she has several coaches working because she's done that invite. So yeah.
I would love to answer. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say I would love to answer if any of you have any questions. I would love to answer any that you have. So, but yeah, go ahead, Ashley.
But also, I would love to know in the chat too. We still have 20 minutes left, and I feel like this is all such good information. But I'd love to, if I know you've shared so much, I'd love to get everybody involved. Think about this. Get your minds working right now. Right, we're on a work call. So how many people do you invite to coaching every week? Put it in the chat. How many people do you invite to coaching every week? Put it in the chat. I want to see numbers in there. And then after you put your number in the chat, I want to know what's your biggest hesitation to asking and inviting to coaching. To coaching, not to boot camps. So I want to know what's your biggest hesitation in inviting to the coaching opportunity for someone to come be a coach on your team. What's your biggest hesitation? What stops you? Or does it just not even cross your mind? We're so focused on boot camps, like Jenna said, that sometimes it's, now a lot of us have gotten comfortable with inviting to boot camps, or we've gotten comfortable with talking about boot camps. We've gotten comfortable with the idea of being a coach and leading others. But now we need to start getting into being a leader of other leaders. How do you lead another leader? And stepping out of your comfort zone again into that whole new world of inviting to the coaching opportunity, inviting to a sneak peek, inviting to just talk about it. Like Darci said, it could just be a casual conversation back and forth, just chit-chatting about their job and what they're doing. And I think that
now
the ultimate goal is for us to start. Oh,
regain.
Erin, you're unmuted. Jenna, can you mute her? You're the host. Okay. The ultimate goal is, we want to be inviting. But I think that, starting to see some of those wins that Darci talked about of having people come to you and ask those questions, that doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't just happen one time, right? Yes, Darci signed up in November and she is killing it, but she's put in so much time to doing that. And we want to, it's okay. Night night. Oh, thank you. Night night. Sorry. So the goal is to get people coming to us, right? And that's through attraction marketing. So believe it or not, which is a crazy concept to me even today. We are learning marketing skills through this. We have to market ourselves on social media. So talking about coaching, talking about boot camps, talking about being a leader of other leaders, growing your team, that's through attraction marketing, and that's how you talk through your content. And the goal, like Darci is experiencing now, is getting people to come to you, having that link there that somebody found, and she had to do no work to find them, to find this guy, other than to put a hashtag on her post or to put a hashtag in her stories, which you can put hashtags in your stories too. That's another way that you can get exposure. So it's like having these things and these systems set up so that these people can start coming to you, but it takes that work in the beginning of inviting while you're building that, that trust with your followers and that connection with them through your attraction marketing, right? So I just think that it all kind of, we want to get you from inviting 25 people a day to having those people coming to you. But it has to start with inviting those people. So like Darci said, it starts with the ask. You have to ask them. Otherwise, people don't know what you're doing. And I'm a huge lover of analogies. My team probably hears this all the time. I will relate it to anything. So I'm going to keep using this birthday party story. If you make a post on Facebook or Instagram or, in your stories and you say, coach sneak peek, anybody want to come? A lot of people aren't going to click on your poll. They're not going to click on your stories. They're not going to fill out your form. It's rare to get that to happen unless you have really good connection with your followers. If you are connecting with them personally, if you are relating to them through your stories, like using things like Darci said, like, Q&A every Sunday or every Wednesday or whenever you want to do it to get to know your followers. And then, messaging them just purely based on connection. So if you post, hey, come to my coach sneak peek, come join my team, most people that watch your stories are not going to click on that. That's almost like posting in your stories. Think about if you were on the receiving end of this and you came across someone's story or you came across someone's post that said, hey, my kid is having a 3rd birthday party, or I'm celebrating my birthday, come to my house and hang out with me for my birthday. And you put that out for your hundreds of followers, thousands of followers that you have. Do you think 1,000 people are going to show up at your birthday party for you? Probably not. If that were me and I saw that, I would be like, I'm the mom. If they're like, oh, come to my daughter's 3rd birthday party, I would be like, I don't really know you, so I'm not going to go to your daughter's birthday party. Like they probably, to me, I'm thinking, oh, they probably meant that for like their family and close friends. So I'm not going to answer that because that's not me. Right. But there are some people who are out there who will be like, yeah, I'm all up for making mom friends. I'm going to that birthday party. I'm bringing my kids so I can make a new mom friend. Like they're ready to do that. Those are the people that are going to be clicking on your poll. But so it's good to have those out there so people know what you're doing and getting that exposure so they can see. But it also takes those personal invites to people to say, I think you would be good at coaching. I really would love to work with you and have you on my team. And that has to come from the heart. You can't just like mass invite people to coaching. Yes, you never know who's going to say yes, but also think about you have to work with these people. And I think a lot goes to show about who Darci has coaching on her team, that she has a strong connection with these people. She knows them, they know her, they have a relationship, and they're willing to work for her because they know that she cares about them. And when you have that connection and that relationship, it's going to make it easier. And you're not going to be pulling teeth to get coaches to do work. You're not going to be pulling teeth to get someone to say, well, don't you just want to sign someone up? Well, just sign your husband up. Come on, just do it for me. And you're pulling teeth and you're dragging them and it's exhausting. So having that strong connection, putting the time in and the energy and the efforts into building those connections is going to make your team so much stronger, so much better. You're going to love who you work with, and it's going to make it fun and enjoyable. So I just thought I would throw all that out.
I will agree. I totally love everything you just said. And I also wanted to touch on one last thing about Super Weekend. One of my coaches who just signed up a coach herself, her coach that she just signed up and hit Emerald within like 24 hours, totally kept saying, oh my God, I have so much FOMO. You guys look like you're having so much fun. And I wanted to say that one of the girls that came with us for Super Weekend was like, well, and just out of curiosity, not in a bad way, but how will this benefit me? And the question was a good question, because it's like, okay, we live in Cleveland. Columbus was the closest Super Weekend for us. That's about a 2.5-hour drive. It was on a Friday night. We're all sitting here like last minute decision. Are we going to go? I was like, let's just go. And the one said like, I'm close to coming. I just want to know, like, what will this do for me in my coaching business? And I said to her, this is probably not going to do anything directly for your coaching business, like today. Okay. What it might do, though, you're going to learn something. Okay. Because guess what? Carl was there. So that was fun in itself. I mean, Carl. Two, we've been to large events. All three of us that went to this have been to MLM in-person events. It was a different feel. I will tell you that. It was different energy. It was way better. Awesome. And I will say that, like, yes, we learned from other people. It sounds funny, but listen, this is social selling. The pictures and the videos and the things that you shared create some sort of FOMO and some sort of interest. And guess what? When I was sitting on the sidelines doing this old MLM, watching Jenna, watching Ashley, and they're matching, guess what? It does something to someone. Okay. They don't do that for no reason. Okay. They do it. It's fun. I'm sure it's a blast. I wanted to be there. I wanted to crawl into that screen and come to that trip with you and your matching stuff. Okay. It did something enough for me to want to join. What I'm saying is these events, not only do they help you in your business, but they do create like a sense of like, wow, I might want to join that sisterhood community. That might be something someone needs. Like, I want to build this, like, I'm a special needs mom. Like, maybe I can help these special needs moms find a community of belonging, or that's my like future thing. But like, yeah, you never know. Like, when you sit there and you're like, who am I going to ask to coach? Well, who wouldn't want to join? Like, don't think of it as like, and it is intimidating, the word coach. Who might want to actually be a part of like this group and do fun things, earn trips, which I haven't done yet, but like I saw and see the opportunity, these like retreats you could do. And I mean, yeah. So all of that stuff is a lot of, I stop and think, why did we want to join? And so that's why I'm at how I'm wording my asking.
Every trip, Ashley can share this too. Like, I swear, every trip, we always plan sneak peeks right after them because we know it's FOMO. We know people are watching from the sidelines. And that's seriously where a lot of my business comes from and coaches come from, is after trips, because the FOMO is there. They see the community. Summit, you guys, if you are not going to Summit, get your ticket booked, or at least go buy your ticket for the actual event. Because Summit is huge too. And we've yet to have Summit for several years. And that is one of the best trips every single year as Beachbody coaches.
Definitely. And I think I feel like we're all just trying to like pour words of wisdom into you guys, but like, if you love what you do, and yes, these trips are so amazing for us to showcase our community and things, and yes, they probably serve a purpose, but like, Jenna and I have so much freaking fun together. Like, it's like we've been friends forever when we're together, and it's the same way when you're with everybody. And you have the best feeling when you're with a team of other women who just get it, they don't want the drama. We just want to hang out. And it is literally just the most fun. And these people literally become your closest friends. And I just think that if you feel that and you're excited about it, it's going to make it easier to have coaches come in. And if you've never been to an event before, that's okay. Get your butt there to the next one. We have the next Super Weekend is in April. We've all posted dates about that. If you don't know, we can ask your coach and we can let you know when those are. But get together with your team whenever there is something like a retreat that you can earn for free. Like, work your tail off to get there, because number one, it's going to be a life-changing experience for you because there's trainings and ways to grow your business, but also the bonding time that you get with your team, the people that you work so hard with throughout the year, you get to celebrate together. And then all of these, you know, events that Beachbody puts together, the Success Club trip, the super weekends, and the summit, like all of these times are there for us to get together because we are virtual coaches. So to have those experiences like in person, in real life, will completely change your life. But you have to, and what I was going at is if you haven't been to one of those before, that doesn't mean you can't talk about it. You can't share your excitement of getting to meet your coach for the first time, or getting to meet a sister coach or your team, or like sharing your excitement of like, oh my gosh, these things are coming up and I am so excited for them. I cannot wait to meet them in person because we have this, you know, long history together. We work every single day together. We talk every single day. So to get to meet them in real life and like celebrate with them, paint that picture of what that's going to be like. But if you're not excited about it, your followers are not going to be excited about it. If you talk about coaching and you're in your stories and you're like, Coach Sneak Peek coming up, come join us, people are like, okay, cool, moving on to the next thing. You have to be excited about it personally, from the inside, from your heart. Why are you here as a coach, and how has it helped you? And what kind of community do you want to create? Because as a coach, you are creating community. You are bringing those moms together. So Darci want, you know, to connect with the special needs moms, and, you know, she can have such a strong relationship with them. You know, so who do you want to bring in? Think of who that is. And yes, we talk about like, what clothes do they wear? What music do they listen to? What TV shows do they watch? Like, what's your ideal person? But just think of like, who do you want to be your friend? Who do you get along with in life? And who do you want to be your friend? And sometimes you don't know that in the beginning until you start bringing coaches on, and then you'll realize like, okay, that's not super my person. And, you know, they left my coaching team, and yes, that was a huge bummer, but also like, that's okay, because it wasn't, you know, I wasn't like so excited to work with this person, and that's okay. Moving on to the next person, like you'll find those people who you start working with, and you'll start to realize like, okay, I really love that quality about her. Like we get along so well, we click, and this is who I'm looking for in my coaching team. Like this is what I want. And you'll start to form that idea. So don't feel like in the beginning, if you're not sure who to bring in, because we talk about that all the time, who's your ideal person, talk to that person. You'll start to find that over time, and it just comes with practice and working with other people to figure out, who do you like working with, who do you not like working with, and why don't you like working with that person. And think about those qualities, because really creating that community and bringing your own team together is something so amazing that literally there's no better feeling than knowing like I put this team together and they're like my closest friends. So does anybody have any other questions?
And I know Brittany
or in general,
and a couple of other girls. So, and like start, if you're, you know, thinking of inviting, you know, start with the current clients that you have. You know, I think you know, who's loving your group, who's seeing results. You know, that is usually the first person I'm going to. If they're posting in the group the first week, they're absolutely loving it, they're seeing success, they're loving the product. It's reaching out to them and getting bold enough to say, hey, could you see yourself doing this? Do you want to come join our next sneak peek, or, you know, whatever type of coaching event you have going on next. So, you know, start within your groups, and, you know, or who could in your groups do you see working with? There's a lot of people that are in my groups that I personally get along so well with them that I would love for them to join the team. So reaching out to them and saying, hey, I could totally see you part of the team.
I have to confess that I literally have a sticky note with some names written down of girls in boot camp who I'm like, they are going to be coaching on my team. And I will tell you, one of them just decided to join as a coach on our team, and she already has one person signing up her second one tonight. And I just like, I'm like, these are the people that I love having in my groups. These are the people that are encouraging and motivating and that show up, and I enjoy talking to them. They message me, I message them. It's a two-way street. We work together. So pay attention to who's in your groups, get them results, but also make sure you're having fun with them, because I literally have a sticky note on my desk, and anytime I see someone in the group that I'm like, yep, I like her, I'm writing her name down and she's going to be coaching on my team.
And I'm doing like literally as I'm scrolling my Facebook and I see these faces popping up, I'm like, she could coach, she could coach, she could coach, you know? So, you know, when you get in the mindset of everyone should be doing this, because I personally believe that I think coaching can benefit every single person. I wish everyone was doing this. It obviously isn't for everyone, but I personally think that anyone could be doing this. And really thinking about like, who do I want on my team? Who could be doing this with me? Who could be my best friend at Summit? You know, taking shots at night and having a slumber party in our hotel room, you know, or whatever. So yeah, you know, this is your team. I think that's the cool thing. Just like Ashley just shared, like you get to create your team. How freaking cool is that? Of your closest friends that are going to become your future BFFs. Like how cool is that to think about? So, but you got to do the invites. Okay, were there any other questions? Thank you, Darci. This was awesome.
There is one in the chat. Started connecting with someone, and then 2 weeks later, they started sharing about Beachbody workouts, cycling classes. So basically, you form a connection with somebody, and then you find out that they're already doing Beachbody or that they just signed up with Beachbody. How do you go about moving forward? Just a conversation. If you enjoyed, I think, if you enjoyed your connection with this person and you're like, I just really feel like we jived well, I enjoyed talking to you, what I would do is just ask her like, hey, I see you're doing Beachbody workouts. That's so exciting. I love them. Like, which program are you doing? Like, just start asking questions. You don't have to jump to like, do you have a coach? Are you working with a coach? Oh, I can't talk to you anymore because you're already working with a coach, right? Like, just be genuine. Like, hey, I saw you're doing Beachbody workouts. Like, is that from 21 Day Fix? Or, you know, reply to her stories or something and say, oh my God, I see you got a bike. I just got mine in last month and I'm obsessed with it. Are you loving it? And then if she's like, yeah, oh my God, I love it. Whatever, you guys can talk. And then say, I didn't know that you were doing those workouts. Do you have a coach? And then go from there. It doesn't have to be structured or like jump to conclusions. Like give yourself some time. And I think like Darci mentioned this too, that sometimes you want to just jump right into, you know, you're so excited to find out, or you're like, oh, you're kind of crushed that you're like, I'm just going to ask her. Like, take your time, take a breath, take a step back, and then come back to the situation and say, okay, let's just talk this out. Let's see where this goes, because the last thing you want to do is kind of burn that connection to where you turn them off because they're just going to get that feel that you only want a sale from them, which is not our goal. Our goal is to build those connections and get to know people. So, and
when you ask, they like to spill it. So they'll be like, oh yeah, I had a coach, but I don't like her, or, you know, like they'll tell you if they want to. Yay. All right, you guys.
Well, thank you for having me. I do appreciate you asking me. I feel like I can ask you girls questions. So the fact that you wanted me to share, thank you. And yeah, anytime. I love like learning from other people too. So.
Love it. All right, you guys, have an amazing rest of your Monday night. And we will see you guys next Monday. All right. Bye, guys.